Oh my god! Whoever pops in this thing right away.
I wonder if that's even in there. That it's just
No.
us laughing.
No. It only caught the laughing, and holy crap, did we just laugh really freaking hard? I mean, and don't get me wrong. That's gonna be your funniest joke today. It's gonna be your funniest joke, and no one's going to have heard it. I'll make mention not of the joke, but of that people need to go back and watch the video. Oh my god, that was hilarious. All right.
I should have waited like 2 seconds.
No. That joke needed to be just between the two of us. All right, you ready?
What if it's not?
So, it's Friday morning. And for most people, this brings to the close your long work day. Or your long work week. Even for me, it's one of my schedules where I actually get to close up my work week, and I'm very excited to be talking here. But
if
while
you're Dave, you're starting your work week.
Dave, you don't get to talk till after this part, Dave?
Oh, fine. I get it.
So, now that you've been interrupted by Dave, now you're probably thinking to yourself, are they really friends? Does Dave know the boiling point of water? Could he possibly be more wrong about the Super Nintendo Classic Edition? What's coming out in the news? And how was the movie this week? Well, let's find out.
Have plastic butt plugs and...
The minute I pulled this thing out and felt it, Jeff.
It's Forget Being Cool for October 20th, 2017. I'm Dave Moore. That's my main man, my man. I need a Johnny _ Yo-Yo, Spaghetti, Xbox, Microsoft, Ravioli, Hamburger Helper, Casino.
Oh, Hamburger Helper. When I was a kid, Dave, and you can tell me if you had a similar experience.
I don't. I've had Hamburger Helper like twice in my life.
Oh, okay. So when I was a kid, my mom would cook dinner for us every night. But she isn't
Hamburger
like
Helper every night?
Well, not every night, but she isn't like a gourmet cook by any means. Now, she can make some mashed potatoes, right? She can make some really good mashed potatoes. But she wasn't like a gourmet cook. Like, I didn't realize the right way to eat a steak until I was well out of my house. Like, I didn't realize that well done with lots of steak sauce was not actually the right answer, right?
Okay.
And so, by the way she still eats steaks to today. Even if she goes to a restaurant, I think she still gets it well done, which kills me. But there were
a little bit of blood. A little bit of blood. That's all right.
You know what I found out? I was listening to something or reading something. I don't remember.
We are animals, John.
No, the red that's coming out of a steak when you cut it, that's not blood.
Oh, I know.
It's like a red protein.
Yeah.
So anyway, every once in a while,
juicy is the correct way to say it, I guess. But
I mean, bloody is how most people do say it, or still mooing.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not actually blood. But my mom, some days, that's what she would make. She'd make 2 different types of Hamburger Helper. And so for dinner, you'd have one type of Hamburger Helper, another type of Hamburger Helper, and like peas or green beans, because she always made the greens, but she never ate them. Like, and as a child, I knew green beans as just a way to get salt into your mouth, right? Because you just put a whole shaker of salt on your green beans. Yeah. So this is how I grew up eating, and I didn't realize till much later that that's kind of strange to have like 2 different kinds of Hamburger Helper as part of one meal. But yeah, you've rekindled this in my memories.
I'm happy for you, John. You gonna go get your mother make mashed potatoes?
No.
Okay.
But she makes some really good mashed potatoes, and she'd always make them like from not like instant mashed potatoes. It'd always be like boiled potatoes, mash them, whatever.
Right.
And they're really good. I think it had a lot of butter in it. Like, that might have been the key.
That's the key to a lot of food, John. You learn that when you start cooking. Just add butter. It'll be better with butter.
Yeah, it'd be better with butter. Okay. So a couple things to kick off this show. One, if you never watch the YouTube version, this would be a good episode to go back and watch the beginning of this YouTube episode, because as I'm hitting record, Dave made a really funny joke. so funny that I almost fell over. Like we were belly laughing very loudly as the video starts, and it might be worth seeing.
Might be. Probably not though.
I mean, it doesn't take much of your time. I'm not saying you got to watch the whole thing.
Or you could to help us and support the show, as long as we don't play music that gets us a copyright strike.
Yeah, and we
Because
actually
we surely will.
go back in and click on certain things to make this help the show. Anyway, so here's the next thing, Dave. Before the show, I woke up about an hour and a half before we start the show. I look at my phone.
About it today, about an hour before.
Yeah, you did.
Shut.
So I woke up and I look over my phone, and the first thing I see on there is there's a new episode of We the Gamercast with reoccurring guest Dave Moore. And I'm like, well, I know I have to drop everything to do this. So I go into my Overcast app, which I think I like the Overcast app more than I used to like the podcast app. And here's why. You could so as you go in, your episodes just pop up in the order that they pop up, right? And like if one is like a Wednesday show but doesn't release until like Friday, it'll put itself in like Wednesday's position or whatever in your lineup. And then you can go in and rearrange them if you want, which I normally do. Like there's certain shows I will normally kick to the bottom, and I'll get to them if I get to them. Like the morning stream, because there's so many of them, it
Mine's
loses its priority.
organizing them by show for some reason. So there's like all these TMS episodes in like one space.
That's weird.
Usually I like to listen. I like to listen to podcasts in the order like the most recent, and I just listen to my backlog as I get caught up.
Okay.
But that's not how it's sorting mine.
I think you literally need to go in and just click one button inside the app. We'll talk about it afterwards.
I'm sure.
But anyway, so I see this. I'm like, okay, I'm dropping everything else. But what's really cool is you can pick a random episode, click on it, tell it to play, and it'll just, the episode you were listening to before, it'll just pick right back up in the middle of that when you finish this episode, right? Like on the podcast one, if you're listening to an episode and you click to play another one, it basically just thinks that you're done with that one and it's gone. So I start listening to this. And for any
podcast app right now is a mess.
And for any of you that don't listen to We the Gamercast, and I can't imagine you listen to this and don't listen to that. Like, this was a great episode. And granted, I'm somewhat biased, right? Obviously my co-host was the guest here.
Right.
But I liked, there's some topics that you guys touched on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the biggest
now,
thing...
See, here's my question, John. Is because you know the context for a lot of this conversation.
Yeah.
That we had.
But that's...
I felt like maybe the message didn't come through clear enough. But I'd say that because, I'm a guest.
I mean, there will be some people that don't understand the story you're telling as well. Yeah. But I think the big thing I think to take away from this, right, is like how we meet people here on the internet, and it's like a real friend thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's part of the reason why you and I can not always play nice with each other on the show, but at the end of it, we're still laughing. Yeah. Right. Which I'll actually get to that in a minute because we got to do it. Apparently, we have to do a science lesson.
About boiling water.
Yeah. So
shut up, John.
But you were talking about the reality of the friendships that we make doing this stuff, whether it be with our co-hosts or just other people that we interact with. I mean, I know Josh Stapleton was brought up by Sean. He and I converse quite a bit. Jeremy Good and I were actually chatting last night over Messenger and some other stuff. So, Andy and I, God, we chat all the time now.
I talk to these people more than I talk to most people in my real life.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then we have people that some of us are friends with, but other ones aren't, like Adam Leonard, not to brag.
I talked to Adam this morning.
Shut up. Stay away from my friends. But it was interesting because I don't know, last week or something like that, my wife and I were having an issue that as a marital couple you deal with and talk through eventually and whatever else. And trying to think of how to like word this, right? So it's not that she's not supportive of the podcast. She's extremely supportive of me doing all the stuff she likes, that I met all the stuff. But I was expressing something about like my need to do these things and my need to be like, okay, I'm going to not sleep at these certain times when I should be sleeping to be able to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, because it's like, these are the people that I talk to, and like you said, more than most other people. Like I see people at work, I talk to people at work, but not many of them are people that I'm friends with. They're just people who I'm stuck in a room with for 12 hours.
Right, so you might as well talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking Andy. And so yeah, like, and I don't think I ever really expressed it in that same way, like when her and I were having this discussion. And maybe I should have. So Dave, now that the gushy stuff's out of the way, you made a comment on the show, Dave.
I have no idea how. No, okay, fine.
Your comment was, and I did not pull this. I was almost not going to pull any sound clips at all from this episode, because I thought the episode was very important. Like it had the goofy, it had the laughs, it had the stuff like that, right? But I think there's some like really important things that were being said in it, right? There were a couple things I had to pull. Sound. I have a little chunk of a sound clip from you that I'm going to add to a different sound clip of you. To make it awesome. I have one of Sean that I pulled from that. But you said something. You said that coffee, and just now thinking back to the context of which you said it, you said that coffee is cooked at 200, made. At 210 degrees, which is way above boiling point. That was the comment you made.
Well, here's
Dave.
Yeah. Yes, John.
Dave, what's a boiling point of water?
I have 100 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, but what is it in Fahrenheit?
I have no idea,
It's
John.
212.
Well,
It is higher than the number you made.
by 2 degrees.
Yes. And you said this. I'm like the look that was, and the thing that okay, so like we say stupid stuff all the time, right?
Yeah. Remember, this is not the point of this conversation, John.
Yeah. No. We say stupid stuff, but it was like how emphatic you were about what you were saying is what made it so funny to me.
Oh my god. Here's the point, John.
Yeah.
That coffee was brewing way hotter than necessary.
I mean, no. You have to make do you know how coffee works?
No. Hold on.
But do you know how coffee works?
Yes, John, but trust me.
But you have to boil coffee. Like for drip coffee, it has to get hot enough to percolate. Which means
this was too hot.
Maybe.
If you had seen my foot.
No, I agree. Like that sounds terrible.
If you had seen my foot, you've been like, "Yep, that should not have been happening."
But like to make coffee, it has to go to a boiling point.
It needs to be hot, I agree, but it doesn't need to be that hot.
Yeah, it should not maybe be not that hot as I don't know. By the time it gets to you, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, Dave. I've determined I don't know how to save. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to fix the world's problems.
Sentences are made out of words.
Yeah. I mean, I was at work yesterday and I was trying to say something to somebody and I just could not make words. Like it felt like 10 minutes. It was probably about 30 seconds. But I could not make an actual word at all. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm a freaking podcaster. Like I need to be able to say words. That's all I have.
That's it. You're done. You're officially no longer a podcaster.
So Sean's admitting that he had no idea the temperature either, which makes sense because they don't use Fahrenheit there, although I'm sure they somehow learn it. But now he's not sure. Now Sean is no longer sure if that coffee was actually hot.
Oh. If I had this picture of my foot, dude, I'll post it right now if I had it. People would be like, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I don't know, man.
No. Imagine the entire top of my foot becoming a blister. Like the whole thing. And it's just one giant blister.
Did you see?
Not just like little ones, not like a bunch of like big ones. Like no, like the whole top of my foot was just like this big overarching it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see the pictures of John Wall's foot like the day after Comic-Con or whatever, the day they went to the beach and he wore sandals and no sunscreen on his feet all day long.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was some good blisters. I used to do that. I used to walk around Hawaii in sandals. Like if I wasn't at work, and it's still the way I am now. Like if I'm not at work and it's warm enough for me to wear shorts, which is like 50 degrees or warmer,
Yeah.
I'll wear
agreed.
shorts. Huh?
Agreed.
Okay.
50 degrees.
Yeah. I'll wear shorts and probably a t-shirt about 50, 55 degrees.
Yeah,
But
anything below 50.
yeah, I'm in jeans.
I start considering jeans and a t-shirt.
And, and also I think it depends on if it's spring or if it's fall. So if it's warm, getting cooler, my body hasn't adjusted yet, and I will wear jeans sooner. But like a couple of years ago, it was in the spring, so it's just warming up, and it was like 53 degrees outside, and I walked into the grocery store in in shorts and a t-shirt and sandals, and this woman looked at me like I was nuts. But I live in an area like you live in an area that gets cold, and I'm sure Sean wears just a bathing suit around all winter long because he's used to the cold up there in Canada. But I live in a place where it's hot most of the year.
Yeah.
So
You'd come up here right now, you'd think it's cold. Because we're at that 40 degrees, 50 degrees temperature.
the lowest we've gotten. So I rode the motorcycle into work a couple days ago, and it was like 56 degrees outside. So that was pretty cold. For riding a motorcycle, I have a point. I used to say that I would ride the motorcycle to work as long as it was going to be 40 degrees or warmer. And then I ended up riding home in like 36 degrees on the motorcycle. And I realized okay, I'm just not going to risk it when it gets anywhere near this cold, because 36 degrees and 70 miles per hour on a highway.
Cold.
Yeah. And even I had this thing that I put on. So it was like a ski mask that, it's like open like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my helmet over it. And even that, first of all, it's super uncomfortable because it makes the helmet insanely tight. But even that, and even with the gloves that I wear, don't block out enough of the wind and cold. So by the time I get back, I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah, no, this sounds bad.
Yeah. So now if it's 45 and above, I'll still ride the motorcycle, and I don't wear that ski mask thing anymore. I just deal with it, and I have a small windshield now that keeps it off my face. So,
Cool.
all right.
Weather, exciting.
Sean says January is Speedo weather. His January Speedo is super sexy. Sean, I have no doubt, because as Sean put something on Twitter last night, and I didn't. Okay, so I still have my issues with Twitter because, like I said, it used to be I'd open it up, it'd be right where I left off, and I could scroll upward and see things as they're happening, right? And now it either puts me at the latest thing and I have to go backwards, but it doesn't put everything there. It has a few things and then in case you missed it section, which repeats things over and over. Or it puts me at some random spot from 3 days ago and whatever. So I miss a lot of stuff now. But Sean put something on Twitter today, and it really messed with me. He put on there that some people say that he reminds them or looks like, I don't remember how he worded it, but looks like Ellen Page. And I have this weird thing for Ellen Page, as you probably know.
Yes, we're aware. We've talked about it on this show.
Yeah. And now he's trying to say he looks like Ellen Page, but I have this weird thing for Ellen Page, and I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do, Dave.
Neither one is going to happen for you, so it's probably going to be okay, John.
I don't know.
We
keep talking about getting together with Sean.
You're probably going to get a little bit closer to one of them, physically, in a sensual space.
One of my sound clips that I pulled from your show is kind of about that.
But you'll probably be okay, John. You could probably handle yourself.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you'll be all right.
As in restrain myself?
Yeah, you can restrain yourself from Sean Capri.
Okay, Sean. That proves that we're still allowed to meet up.
If I have to be there to hold you back, it'll be all right.
Okay, but not too tight.
Chelsea can be there too.
Okay, we need to get off this before some really bad jokes are made. I still want to have friends after the show's over. Dave. Dave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen to We the Gamercast. The point of this entire conversation.
Yeah. A really good episode.
I'm listening to all my podcasts at two speed.
You probably need to do that because of how far behind you are.
I'm so far behind on my podcast.
You know what I think? I'm gonna try that with an episode of TMS and see how it goes.
I love the smart speed feature because for some reason it speeds up the music of every show for no reason.
Oh, that's funny.
Even though that's what it's supposed to slow down, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because the smart speed should be smart enough to be like it'll like anytime there's gaps of silence, like it should fill those in too.
Yeah.
But when it plays the music, it should slow down so that like the music doesn't sound weird. Like that's the whole point of it. But when like We the Gamercast starts up, it's like like I'm very confused. I don't know what it's doing.
Dave,
Yeah.
later today, I might be one step closer to having my studio.
Whoa.
Finally. I don't remember how many
Is-
months this has been now, but it's been a really frustrating process.
It feels like a long time because we do a lot of episodes of this show.
But I think it actually has been kind of a long time. Like, it's October. And I'm pretty sure it was over the summer that this idea came to light.
Yeah, but like it was like the end of the summer.
Yeah,
Like
but
it wasn't
still, like,
June, it wasn't
still-
July. Like it was like the middle of August.
It still shouldn't take over 2 months to get this done,
Mm.
right? So here's what
When,
happened.
anything involving contractors takes a long time, John.
Well, but that's not what the issue is, right? So here's what happened, right? So initially, I had a buddy of mine come over, right? One of my stepdad's best friends who can do anything. And he's like, "Look, I've never done this. I don't know if I feel comfortable with it. Go talk to Home Depot or whatever. They have, highly recommended stuff. So go to Home Depot." They were supposed to have someone come out at a certain time. It took an extra week longer just to get that person to come out and look at it. I kind of get a quote, but they basically tell me, "Hey, we can't do this work. You need to get another contractor to come in here and do this other thing first." I was like, well, screw that. I'm not going to deal with it like that. I'm just going to go find another contractor to do the whole thing. So I find the door guy. Literally, that's what they're called, the door guys. So it takes me a little bit to get in touch with the guy. And then, like, his communication back was terrible. And this should have been a red flag. But I kept thinking, I'm one step closer with this guy. Like, it's going to happen. He's going to follow through with this. And then the hurricane hit. And then apparently he finally came out to get stuff for the quote, and he's just not getting the quote back from the vendor that like builds the stuff. He just installs it. He has them build it. And so finally I'm like, "Look, man, are you going to be able to do this?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "They're 12 quotes behind right now, and it should have been done 2 weeks ago." So I finally found this card from this guy that I met when I went to Home Depot the first time, this contractor who was there who gave me his card. And I finally found it, and I call him up.
Call him.
I called him up yesterday. And he's like, "All right, tomorrow on my way home from another job," because he lives just past me, right? Like, he lives in the next small town south of me, like further away from Houston. He's like, "I'll come by. I'll talk to you and your wife. I'll figure out exactly what y'all want. We'll get this thing rolling." So there's a potential, and I don't know what his schedule is like, and that's where the issue comes in. Is like, if his schedule is not open when mine is, it's going to set things back a little bit because my wife and
Yours
I both
is
work.
so open though.
It
A
is
lot of the time, like on the right week, it's open.
Yeah, so like if he can start work next week, I'm off almost all week next week. But if he can't start work next week, or like even if he can get like 2 days off next week, he's probably enough time for him to do what we need him to do.
Well, you need to build. Somebody needs to build the door still.
Well, no, but he's going to do all that. Like he does it all. Like basically the way I think it's going to work is I'll go to Home Depot with him. I'll buy the supplies that he needs. He comes over, he puts it all together.
That's cool.
And he showed me some pictures I really liked, and it took him like a week to do. But I think we want something slightly less done, so hopefully it won't take a week to do. Like if he can get done like 2 days.
It's just a door. for
Well,
God's sake.
yeah, but it's not just a door. Like it's a door frame that has to be built inside an area that's too big for the doors.
Right.
So that's the issue.
Good luck, John.
Yeah. So hopefully. All right. Here's
I'm
the
excited for you.
here's the big thing for us to discuss here, Dave.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, thanks Andy for saying happy 60th. This is our 60th
60
episode.
episodes.
60 episodes.
We're seniors. We're officially senior citizens.
So I finally listened all the way through Character Crunch this week.
Okay.
I got some good sound clips. I wanted to scream at my phone over and over and over again.
That's my goal, John. 90% of
like-
my goal going into Character Crunch is how can I make John frustrated because he's the only person who listens to this podcast.
So true. So like
It is true.
hearing-
You're the only. You and Greenie, maybe.
Hearing Jim, I'm sure Jim listens.
And Jim.
Hearing your discussion on Parks and Rec. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen the first season, right? But I have watched that show. I've watched episodes multiple times. One of my favorite shows in the last 10 years. Easy. Hearing your discussion about it, like, sometimes I just wanted to be like, why am I not part of this conversation? Why am I not there to yell at him? Like, there needs to be another side of this. But then I'm also realizing, like, I'm coming from the point of the, like, I know how every character develops. Right. But also, you talked about something that we were going to make sure we discussed today. We discussed it a little bit on last show. And you talked about this right here. This is a shrunken Super Nintendo. Now, first of all,
really still think this thing is poorly made.
I'm looking at it now. It looks great. Right?
Do you have your
beautiful.
Super Nintendo controllers?
I do. I have everything up here.
Okay, good. Okay, great.
So it looks great. It's beautiful. I went up to my Super Nintendo and I flicked on and off the power, and then I did this with this one. And
Mine doesn't do that.
Yours doesn't do that?
No.
You have no
slides. It doesn't click barely at all.
It doesn't. So I'm wondering if this is the issue. I wonder if there's like multiple different batches of these things.
I wonder if I got a weird one.
It's possible. But I mean, mine, it clicks.
Yeah, see, that's way different than mine.
And if yours doesn't sound like that, I still think it's a little bit of a silly complaint, but I get it. Like, I at least understand that.
No. There was an attention to detail that the NES Classic Edition had.
But you also got to think like there wasn't another way to do it properly. To not, I mean, like the buttons for it are just push buttons, right? So you're not gonna.
But the power button holds in, and the reset button doesn't. And I don't know, John. It felt like they cared. Versus with this Super Nintendo, it just doesn't feel like they cared as much.
Okay, so now here's what we're gonna do.
Like, I feel like the eject button should do something too.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of agree. Like, I kind of wish that would move, but at the same time, I could see how, like, it wouldn't be any harder to make that thing move, but
Right.
I could see how it could make it break. Like, it's just kind of an unnecessary thing to do. Although, yeah, every time I pick it up, I touch it. Like, every time I try to push the little eject button. But that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull up my controller. Now, this right here is my original from childhood Super Nintendo controller. And this is what I'm going to tell people. If you have these things, especially if you have the new ones, do not do this. Do not wrap your cord around. All my cords are wrapped around. My controller's fine. But I have a PS2 controller from my brother, and it no longer works. And the guy at the store was telling me that's probably why. So now I just do this. Like, I just kind of wrap it around my hand and set it aside. So I've got the two controllers.
Just don't do it tightly.
I've got the two controllers. We're going to do a quick controller comparison, right? So first of all, they are the same shape, same size, right? Put them up next to each other, the same size. If I were to hold them up like this, you'd have a hard time telling which is which.
Yep.
The colors are obviously a little bit more faded. I got some dings and stuff and some pin marks.
That's just time.
Yeah. The start and select button feel about the same. All my buttons feel about the same. My D-pad feels about the same. My L and R
are not the same.
They are actually.
Mine are way clickier on the.
Well, so here's the thing. Like,
this might be the age of the controller versus the new controller, and that's I'll let that slide for now.
No, it 100% is right, because so like my R button, like where the hinge is on the inside, like mine the hinge is broken. So like it still clicks if you push on the right hand side, but if you push in the center, it just kind of dives in. My left one, though, is in perfect condition. And this is both, by the way, both my controllers, both my original Super Nintendo controllers are that way with that, like, broken thing where the left one works great. So I don't know. I guess games used the R button way more than the L button back then. Or maybe just push it harder.
That makes sense.
Looking at them from, like, the top view, there's, like, one slight difference. But it's really literally just a divot. If you look at the back of them... Oh, this is kind of funny. I'd say funny. If you look at the back end of what's printed on the back, right?
It's different.
It's a little bit different, right? So you have this one says, as a Nintendo, says Super NES controller, model number SNS tag 005, RD 1991, Nintendo, made in Japan. And this one says like Nintendo, and then just says mod CLV 202, made in China. Oh, that's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, okay, so
John,
now feeling them. Now let's feel them. Now, it does have
It's a texture.
A slight texture to it. But if you feel my other one in the parts where your hands don't go very often, you could almost feel that same texture.
It's not though.
It might
It's
be a little
not.
bit less. I think, and like I said, I'm feeling it like right over where the Super Nintendo's written because that's where your hands never went, or like right around where it says start and stop or start and select. There is a texture to it. It's not as pronounced, but there is a texture. Like
So you think just age and wear and
I-
just
I
holding
think-
it constantly is just push that texture down, and that's the original texture that I've just never felt?
I think it's at least close.
I'm a stickler for this. I will.
I
I
understand. No, I understand. I understand you're a stickler for it. And I'm not gonna. I mean, I will knock you for that just because that's what I do. But
I noticed it immediately.
yes, but also these controllers. If you get an original one, I mean, 1991. That's a lot of years.
Yeah, it's 26 years.
Yeah. And so like
I wasn't even alive, John.
and back then, I mean, I kind of hate you right now.
I was born in 92.
Back then, right? I mean, your hands were all over it and whatever else, and you're plasting around, whatever. So it's gonna smooth out a lot. So I think maybe it's not as pronounced as of a texture, but I think the texture was still there.
Okay.
Dave?
The point is, I noticed it, John.
No, and I understand. Like I definitely noticed that it felt different, but I also just kind of went straight to the assumption that that's just because the other one's old.
Okay, well, you're more forgiving than I am, and that's fine.
Only sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, oh God, I am so excited to go out today and go hunting for things at pawn shops and thrift shops and all that stuff. And I fully expecting to come back with nothing.
I would follow your entire adventure today if I didn't have to work.
Dave,
I would just FaceTime you constantly.
I had a revelation.
What?
And we're going to set this up way ahead of time because we're going to make this happen. So we're keep talking about getting together.
Yeah.
Plans fell through due to hurricanes and vacations and me just not being on top of things well enough. I think I figured out when I'm going to pull your ass down here.
Okay.
There is a retro game convention that happens actually right over by where I work. I got to find out when it's going to happen this year or next year, I guess. It's already over this year. But those guys from the show that I was talking about, like they're there and a bunch of like the side characters from the show
Can we get
all
a booth?
show up there. I would assume not, but I can find
we
out.
can't get it. We can't get a Forget Being Cool booth.
I mean, we might be able to.
We might want to pitch it as the Xbox Drive booth because I feel like we might have more potential with that.
I will.
We could-
I will
we could-
100% look into this. I think it would be
All right.
almost be easier to do it. Well, the
Or
issue is
just-
like a lot of these booths are going to be vendors.
We could just do it guerrilla style.
Yeah.
Just,
know.
We'll just bring some lawn chairs and some mic stands, and we'll just sit down somewhere and do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can always contact them and be like, "Hey, can we record an episode live inside this convention?" And
Yeah.
we could do
Which-
that, and then make sure we make some like get our Forget Being Cool store up before then, and make sure we have
Right.
our shirts. Yeah, we could definitely do that. All right,
So
Dave.
then we have to buy a bunch of shirts that we won't sell.
No, I'm not saying we should sell shirts. We
Actually, I
should just
still think
wear
we could
shirts.
sell- I think we could sell shirts that say "Forget Being Cool" on them, even if people
Yeah, we
didn't
might
know
be
what,
like that's
even if people didn't even know what this show was. I still feel like we could do that.
yeah. So okay, Paul Lloyd says he has an Xbox One S now for 3 weeks and not got any games for it yet. Now here's my question. I know this is
Halo
very off
Master
topic.
Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 3, Forza
no,
Motorsport 7.
I wasn't gonna start throwing out games he needs to buy. I'm curious. Do you have games with gold? Because if you do, you will build up a library, right?
Yeah.
And also,
Really.
these games go on sale like crazy.
Uno, which I don't think is on sale anymore, but totally worth that one night we played it.
So in the Twitch chat, I like Jedi Tools just popped up. Hi, I like Jedi Tools. And
I
asked,
also
how's
like- I
everyone
also
doing
like Jedi
tonight?
Tools.
He's asking how everyone's doing tonight. I'm curious to where in the world you are.
Yeah,
Did you make
'cause
a
it is-
faux pas because it's morning, or are you in some other country and it is actually evening? And if that's the case, I want to know because that's interesting to me.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, so EA Access, Paul Lloyd, EA Access. Yeah,
Yes.
I want to check that out.
Get Mass Effect Andromeda, I think.
Yeah, but
right now.
okay, but also he's looking for exclusives. Anyway, Dave, let's do
I'm,
some.
I'm gonna ignore that comment.
Dave,
Yep.
let's do a segment I like to call Dave's back in
Massive
school.
Massive pounding this weekend.
He says he's in Hades. That's what's the time zone in Hades? Oh, here's something funny. This is not the article we're using. So when I type in Wikipedia on my little browser, right, it just pulls up the URL for Wikipedia/random whatever, which I should just use that one, but I'm not going to. But here is the one that just pulled up before I hit the button. Graduate School of Media, Communication, and Performing Arts. How freaking appropriate is that? All right, ready? So this is a segment I like to call Dave's Back in School. By the way, my goal is to give the segment a different name every episode.
Okay, good. I was just.
So our topic today,
This is not important.com.
is the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup. And no, this is not that thing you wear to make sure you don't hurt your balls while driving the car.
Oh.
The Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup was a single-make racing series sanctioned by the Sports Car Club of America. The series was started in 2008 and was a sports car series that ran only in North America. The series quietly folded in 2011. So the thing went on for 3 years, 4 depending on if it's counting 8 and 11. And everyone drove TDIs. Now, I like the TDI.
Mm-hmm. John.
Surprised he has, I'm trying to...
John.
Yeah.
Hi, John. Do you like racing? Like watching NASCAR / this kind of stuff?
It depends. Right? Like it's not...
I've never gotten into any of this.
So it's not really my thing, right? I don't mind like dirt track racing. It's a little bit quicker, smaller laps, a little bit
Looks a little
more
cooler.
fun. I don't like NASCAR. Like if someone has
Fair
it
enough.
on, they're watching it, I'll drink beer and just have a conversation about something else while it's on. Drag racing is kind of cool. If you've never seen drag racing, that's kind of cool. I went to a motorcycle race in England. And that was pretty cool. The problem with a lot of those races, though, is you sit in this one location and then you're like, nothing. There they go. Nothing.
I don't
There they go.
That's the part I don't understand about going to those events.
Well, but like if you're at NASCAR, you know, you're up high and you look down and you can see it all happening.
Yeah.
Right? This one, I don't know how big the track was. We were right up next to the fence and these like cheap ass looking bleachers.
So what?
No, I'm just saying that that's why we didn't have an aerial view to see it all. So that's
Right.
why we can only see part of it going by. Right?
You were going to like those like the destruction derbies where like they take like old junkers at fairs and then they just like ram them into each other.
I've been to one. It was part of a monster truck show. It also had like the big dinosaur that picked up and ate the trucks.
So cool.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, it is. It's awesome.
You know, I learned the way
Anybody who doesn't think that like cars crashing each other or monster trucks like are not awesome, like I don't know what's wrong with you. Like just go.
So here's the thing. And I do have one problem with monster truck rallies these days. They don't just happen on Sunday anymore. And it used to be Sundays only. And it would be like Sunday, monster trucks, Megatron, dirt bike racing, Sunday. And that was their thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen that way anymore. But when I was a kid, when it still happened on Sundays, we went once. I went with my buddy and his dad. And I got to see all that stuff. So last year, I took my kids. And actually, I think we might have gone the year before that too. I think we might have gone the last 2 years in a row when it came to Houston. And the first year we got regular tickets, had the earplugs on, the earmuffs and all that stuff, right? Last year, we went with a group of people that got one of those suites things, which is the way to go do this stuff. Because if you want to, you step inside, you can close the door, you can still see out but not get all the noise. Or if you want to, you go sit in the seats right in front of it, right? You have a series of seats that are for you guys. That is the way to do it. And I think it probably cost me $20 more total to do it that way.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had like a parking pass, which is super nice. So we got to park a little closer, not have to walk as far. But man, seeing some of that stuff, and Gravedigger, right? I mean, you can't not love Gravedigger. Seeing some of these guys put on these shows, oh my, it's so much fun. And here's the funny thing, right? So my son's really big into monster trucks. He fell asleep at the beginning.
Why?
I don't know. He was
hold
just
on.
it's late, and he doesn't do late very well, and he was just tired, so he fell asleep.
That's funny. Was he really disappointed?
Are
Are you okay, John?
No, I'm trying to read something that someone's writing to us here. They said I wanted to ask a question. How fast can you say my name? I like Jedi Tools. I like Jedi Tools. Is that something? Does that turn into something when I say I like Jedi Tools? Oh. Well played, and very true. I love genitals. For those of you that didn't get the joke,
Yeah. I like Jedi tools.
yeah, well played. Wow. I screamed into the mic and probably blew out someone's ears.
It's okay, John.
Anyway, monster trucks are great. So this Jetta thing, I like Jettas. We used to have a GTI, which is like I want to say fancier Jetta, but still not super fancy. Great car, had fun, got rid of it because I wanted something bigger.
Right. Life happens.
Yeah, Dave, we are running.
You make a couple babies.
Yeah, you do, and have fun in the process. Dave, we are running long before the music, so we're gonna start some music here. So as always,
Back in my day, we listened to things like NSYNC were the boy bands and Backstreet Boys.
We boys.
yeah. So as always, if you go to forgetbeingcool.com, this is episode 60. Episode 60. And you
Senior
can scroll
citizen.
down and you will see a cool picture of apparently
Stuff.
not the right picture of what I meant to put on there, but I don't know. It's a vampire picture. It's pretty cool. The song, this is from OC Remix this week, or today, and the song is called Alucard's Blood Donation, which one is kind of fitting just because Halloween is coming up, and also Castlevania is really cool. I've never beaten one, but every time I play a Castlevania game, I have a lot of fun. So let me find it. Alucard's Blood Donation. Enjoy. right,
John.
that was Alucard's Blood Donation OC remix. If you noticed, I pulled my little doggy up here. There she is. There's my
That is your
doggy.
doggy.
This is my little one. She's 35 pounds, all piggy. She snorts. She snorts in like snores while she's awake. It's really weird to have a dog snore while it's awake.
Yeah, we have a dog like that.
Yeah.
She literally never stops making the snoring sound.
Yeah.
The best is when you take her out on a big walk, like walk her really far, and she comes back and she's just like panting and snorting, and like it's like the loudest thing ever. And she just sits there for like 25 minutes, just making like.
Yeah, yeah.
sounds
That is
for-
the exact same thing that this dog does. And she's a fatty. She's a tubbo. And she also, like, if the food is out on the floor,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
just feed
same
my
thing.
dogs. They have 2 different bowls. I just feed them. She will just lay there near it. Like, even if she doesn't want to eat, she won't eat all day long. And but
Yeah.
she will lay by her food.
Yep. Yep.
So I have to take it up
Same.
just so she gives us love. I don't know why she's up here right now. She doesn't normally come up here. But she was bugging me enough. So I put her on my lap and I gave her some love. And she's so soft and lovey. I love this dog.
I love my dog that's like that too.
Yeah.
Her name's Isabel.
So, Dave,
Mhm.
let's get the show moving.
Get the show moving. Back on the show.
So we're going to do a little bit of video game news. I don't know how much we have here. I'm going to pull a couple different sites. Let's see what this one has here. I don't know if we have a whole lot that happened. Apparently, the Xbox One X version of Shadow of War is a respectable jump over the PS4 Pro, which, I mean, with everything they're saying,
Good.
it should be. You're so happy.
Everything should be. Hey, everybody, the Xbox One X should run everything better. And if it doesn't, that's the developer
Yeah.
making that call,
My hands smell,
not the hardware.
hands smell like dog now.
Oh, well.
PS4 Pro and Xbox One X expected to be neck and neck in sales during the holiday season. I guess I could see that if you have the fanboys on one side or the other. Oh, apparently there's going to be a sunset orange PS4 controller. That looks awesome. Yeah, take a look
Yeah,
at
I
it.
don't. I was looking at PS4 controllers the other day. I want one of those classic PS1
Ooh.
looking ones, and I haven't gotten one, and I just should have.
Okay, you don't play computer games or anything that often, but I need
Nope.
to download this Sid Meier's Civilization 3 complete, free on PC for the next 2 days.
Get it?
Yeah, I need to get that on my other computer. That way, if I want to play it, I can stream it a little bit. Apparently,
Civilization-
we're in the shower with Sean.
Oh, cool. This is the Forget How to Shower podcast.
Oh, so apparently you can grab Battlefront for $4.50 on the Xbox One, and the season pass is free for a limited time. I got to
Oh.
get that season pass, I think. Although I don't really play Battlefront. I have it just because of EA Access.
I'll buy it for $4.
Yeah, I have enough other stuff I'm playing.
Yeah, but if I want it ever, it's worth $4.
Yeah, oh, no. I 100% agree.
Although
anything-
the second one comes out in a little bit, nobody will be playing that one. So, worth it? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. Heath Ledger wanted Christian Bale to actually beat him up in The Dark Knight. That's weird.
Hmm. That's bizarre. I don't know why that's relevant.
Yeah.
Years later,
Yeah, I don't know either.
DC just trying to get press.
I guess. Apparently, Detective Pikachu movie is eyeing some big name action star to voice Pikachu.
It's
And,
gonna be garbage.
and Gran Turismo Sport is effectively an always online game.
I really hope the newest Pokemon movie gets a theater release because they're retelling the original story.
The newest what?
The newest Pokemon film, the newest Pokemon anime movie, is telling the original first season,
Someone's
Like-
trying to call me.
retelling it to change the canon.
Huh.
Yeah. So I hope we get a theater release in the U.S. It's not out in the U.S. yet,
Yeah.
but I hope we do because it'd be fun to go to, even if it's not the same. Even if it's a little bit different. I mean, it's probably going to be bad, but I would like to go for fun. Nothing, John. Is that it? That's the news. Has nothing happened this
Sadly, I mean, we talked about a couple days ago. We talked about Nintendo having the new update, which apparently is an update for the Joy-Cons as well. And then you guys on Xbox Drive talked about the new Xbox UI update.
Nah.
So I actually finally saw that for the first time last night. My son's like, "Oh, the Xbox looks different, Daddy," and then he showed me.
Yep.
Apparently,
little different.
Valve's Steam Link PC game streaming box is incredibly cheap right now.
That sounds like a waste of money.
My TV does that. But my Wi-Fi I think you have to have like the most incredible Wi-Fi network or have everything hardwired to make it work well. So that's why I don't.
And
do
even
it.
then, I still think you'd have a hard time.
No, it's actually easy to do.
Well, no. I mean, just quality wise, like I still don't think it would be that great. If everything was hardwired, maybe it'd be okay.
Okay,
But it still wouldn't be perfect.
When I was playing, it was choppy but doable, and like the distance between my computers and all that stuff is pretty decent. So I would love for it to work because right now, not to get too far into it or anything, but like right now I'm playing a game that I have on Steam because that's where I could found an incredible deal for it on. I would love to be downstairs playing it on my TV, just so I'm not sitting in my office, which gets hotter than most other rooms in the house.
I would like streaming apps to come to the Switch, so I can play things on my Switch from a distance.
They talked about that. There was a guy that was developing an app. I thought
they
that
proved,
it went through.
They proved it's possible.
I thought that it became a reality, but at the time it didn't matter. Now is when I need that.
Nintendo gonna not approve that.
Yeah, but I thought there was some like weird workaround or something.
I mean, at some point we'll get to homebrew and hack our Switches, and that'll probably be a thing we can do.
Maybe.
But,
All right.
But I'd like to like stream my Xbox games to my Switch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
that would be interesting. That would make where you could play a game anytime. Apparently, the Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle DLC now out on Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
That game is so good.
Did you beat that game?
I have not 100%ed it, but I beat it a while back.
Okay.
And I've gone through and I've actually so all the regular battles I have gone back to and got perfect on them all.
Okay.
I have not done all the challenges.
Okay.
And I have not found everything yet. I've done all the... Dave, you froze up on me. I think I might have lost Dave. Dave. To everyone watching, are people still there? Am I still streaming to the internet? I'm going to pause this recording. Dave. Call dropped. I lost Dave. See if we can get Dave back here, guys. Dave?
Hi, Don.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can't. What happened?
I think my internet just crapped out for a second.
Okay. I'm gonna go restart the recording part.
Okay, good.
All right, we're back. Dave has returned. We have not lost him. But anyway, so I think it was the final thing I was saying is that I've beaten the like all the stuff. I'm working my way through all the like the extra challenges and trying to find little stuff. Ben went on a trip and I actually gave it to him to play on his trip. So I've been taking a couple weeks off from it. Dave.
Yes, John.
Let's get into our movie section. So we can
Okay.
get you off to work and me off to game hunting.
Okay. Work.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. So,
So John.
first of all, before everyone dips out and stops listening, as we just kind of assume they do, I don't know if people do or not, but we highly assume they do.
Yep.
Obviously, Forget Being Cool, Johnny Casino, Dayspace, ForgetBeingCool.com.
ForgetBeingCool.com. It's easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what movie are we watching for next week? Let's start
we're
there.
watching a terrible, possibly terrible movie
God, I hope it's the same one that I picked out on accident. Come on.
called Zombievers.
No, it is not, but I am super excited. Have you seen there was like a movie, we might have to watch it. I think I started it once and I couldn't make it too far. Called like Zombie Beaver or Beaver Zombie.
This is called Zombievers.
Oh, Zombievers? I thought you said
Yeah.
Zombieverse. Oh, we're gonna watch Zombievers? Oh my god, that's amazing. I've seen like the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I wish we could watch together, holding hands and cuddling and all that stuff to keep each other from being scared. Oh my god.
Zombievers.
I have seen the first 10 minutes of this and it is so amazingly bad and funny and
Yeah,
my god. This is a better choice than the one that I had randomly picked. Like I think the one that I had picked to be our like bad scary movie, which maybe we'll do next week, is probably less campy. Like I think this one's going to be purposefully campy and
I mean,
funny
it
horror
involves
movie.
camping.
Yeah, yes, it does. But the one I picked is one of the ones that's like probably trying to be a horror movie, but it's just gonna be bad.
Okay.
Okay, so Zombievers, so excited.
Not Zombievers. Not Zombievers.
I thought you said Zombieverse, and I'm like, okay, it's a universe full of zombies. That's cool.
No.
Zombievers. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Zombievers.
I'm so excited. Oh yeah, and as Andy points out, this is very random. The Switch now does wireless headphones.
Oh, so it has Bluetooth built in. Wireless Bluetooth headphone support, although it can't have voice chat built in to the console. Good job, Switch.
It says, but not Bluetooth. Does it use someone said it uses like a dongle.
That's
Or
freaking
something.
stupid.
So we need some clarification on that because I would like to do that every once in a while. Anyway, Dave, we watched a movie called
Yes.
Babysitters.
Yep. Babysitter.
And going into it, I knew it was going to be not a serious horror film, right?
Right.
Because it has the guy that plays the dad, something Marino. God, something Marino, and I can't think of what the name of it is now. But I keep wanting to say Dan Marino, but that was a football player. Something Marino, and he does a lot of comedy stuff. And actually, the girl,
The babysitter.
no, the mom,
Mm-hmm.
maybe was she the same mom that was in something? I need to look this up. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna look up who all was in it while we're talking.
Okay. This movie was ridiculous, John.
Okay.
Absolutely stupid, ridiculous.
Okay. Now, do you say that in a negative way?
A little bit of both.
Really? Because I absolutely thought this movie was great.
I knew that. I knew you were gonna think that.
And I talked to some people at work too that saw it before I did, and they all agreed.
I was like, this is a John movie, 100%. The ridiculous deaths, the over the topness, the weirdness. I enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy I watched it,
Yeah.
and I laughed a couple times at the ridiculousness of it. But I was like, I don't know what they're going for here at some points.
It's
Like, some of the cinematography was like gorgeous and beautiful, but I'm like, I don't understand like why, like they're doing this. Like they'd be outside and there'd be like all these weird lights going on. I'm like, this should be something. Like this should mean something. I feel like, and it doesn't. Like it's just like the lighting is bizarre for the sake of being bizarre.
yeah. I don't know.
Its entire house is blue for some reason.
I think
Everything is blue.
dabba dee dabba die. I think you were taking way too critical of an eye in a movie that's just not that kind of movie, right? Like this is a movie that's there to be fun. It's there to show ridiculous gore, but in that not in like the Saw or Hostel kind of way, but in that this is kind of humorous, ridiculous gore.
Which is a John thing that you would like more than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I just don't appreciate it as much as I think you do.
It was
where like to me it's kind of dumb.
okay, but it was supposed to be, right? And there's multiple types of dumb comedies, right? And some of them I can't stand, like the frat boy penis joke comedy stuff. I'm past that. Like I don't knock anyone who likes that stuff. It's just not for me anymore, right?
Some of them are funny.
And some of them they've grown.
Some of that,
but like
there's very few that are good.
This and spoof movies, I absolutely love. Now, there's a lot of movies like this and a lot of spoof movies that are done poorly these days, right? Like if you go back to Not Another Teen Movie was absolutely freaking fantastic. Super well done. But then you get like superhero movie and epic movie, and those were just garbage done, right?
I like superhero movie, but it's been a really long time.
It was.
I watched it once.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it might have been better than some of the other ones, but it was still
Epic movie was garbage.
Yeah, it was still pretty garbage compared to like the good spoof movies.
Well, even like half the scary movies are garbage.
Yeah, but this movie I would actually put along the lines of the original Scary Movie, right? It's that kind of movie. So it's a horror film, but you're never really actually scared at all, and it's kind of making fun of the genre a little bit, and it's kind of over the top, but not.
It's very over the top.
But it's over the top, but not in the slapstick comedy kind of way that like spoof movies are. More in just the way that Scream was.
Okay, I can agree with that.
So
I don't know.
The deaths were fantastic.
Yes,
all of them
ridiculous.
So okay,
but
so
fantastic.
let's give a little background to this to what the movie is. So there's a kid, very much uncool, a bit awkward, although he does have what I assume is supposed to be a good-looking girl that wants him. Like she's. Here's the thing. Like, let's look at this girl for a second. I know that sounds really weird to say.
This little girl.
But she is the type of girl you can see her. Kind of like we talked about this with Hermione back in the day, right? Harry Potter movies. We're talking about them. You look at her and you're like, this girl has potential when she gets older to be super good looking or really awkward. Like it's, I don't know. It kills me like when I see child stars and you're like,
his age was really hard for me to lock down.
It would have had to have been. How old did they say he was? 12?
He's 12.
Okay, yeah. But so here's the deal. His parents still make him have a babysitter. The babysitter happens to be this smoking hot 20-something-year-old girl.
Right.
Who turns out, by the way, she's Australian in real life.
Well,
yeah, I looked her up. But she's absolutely gorgeous. And he gets in a conversation with this female friend of his, and it's like, hey, what do they do after you go to sleep? And so he decides he's going to stay up after he goes to sleep and find out if she's having guys over and doing them. Right?
Right.
Which he doesn't want to see because he's kind of in love with the babysitter.
Right.
The babysitter got some awesome points when they were doing the like, who would you have in your space group thing? And she was able to start naming it. Like, she got some mega like nerd cred points.
Yep, sure did.
So anyway,
she was too hot to know that stuff. Just saying.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, in theory, yeah. So anyway, so it comes to find out, he stays up, he looks down, and he witnesses them with a group of friends. She straight up makes out with this other chick.
Oh my god.
And then you think it's just kind of like this fun little party, although you know it's gonna be a horror film, so something's gonna go wrong. But you know, things it's like this fun little kind of, sexual type party they're gonna have. And then they straight up sacrifice this dude by shoving 2 knives in his head. And catch the blood. And the one dude is like tapping the one side and the blood's not flowing. And he's like, hey, mine's broken. And then it just douses him.
Ugh.
And it was perfect. It was perfect. So that's kind of the way the movie goes, right? So at that point, after that, they realize the kid's awake.
Well, they go to get the blood of the innocent. They go to him to like poke him with a needle and get blood out of him because he's an innocent kid.
Yeah. And so not to go into too many, because this is definitely something I think you should watch. But basically, and as you could probably assume, they all start trying to kill him. One by one, they try to kill him. One by one, he ends up coming out triumphant.
Right.
Right? I think, so I liked all the deaths, especially the one, like, Asian chick. Like, that was...
with a firework?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was epic.
epic. The boob girl was hilarious.
The boob girl was hilarious. A couple of things I really liked about the people themselves, right? So I liked the thing with the one jock guy was trying to kill him, but also had to help him, like, learn to defend himself against a bully in the process.
Right.
I liked that, and then I liked when you really started to see that the girl didn't really want to kill the boy. Like, the babysitter didn't really want to kill the boy.
Right.
And then her demise was amazing.
The ending was well done
Yeah.
because there's a lot of ways this could go, right? I guess there's a couple ways this could go, not too many, but there's a couple like generic options, and
Yeah.
I think what they did was well done.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, they could have gone into more details, more background on, like, the what was going on deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessary, but I was kind of curious.
Explain what the heck they're trying to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, they said the surface level of what they were trying to do, but, like, where it came from, how it happened, stuff like that. They
Yeah,
didn't
like
go into-
like they say religious, like, devil cult, but you're like, I don't
Yeah.
I don't have any idea about any of this, where it came from. They said he wasn't the first kid, right? So I'm like, what's that about?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have expected a big reveal with her to be the devil.
No, I didn't expect that.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was expecting towards the end. So when I was looking at the IMDb a second ago to see who the mom was, because I was mixing her up with someone else, but the mom is Leslie Bibb is her name. She was actually in
Zombievers?
oh God, I hope so. No, she was in The League. If you ever watched The League, or if anyone out there ever watches The
okay.
League, I want to say she might have been like the dude's
The
wife at the
mom?
very beginning of the show.
Okay.
But anyway, so she's funny, and she's actually pretty good looking for a 50-something-year-old woman. But also I was looking through the list, and they had that girl, his little girlfriend that he finally kisses at some point, right?
Mhm.
Her dad is just whatever
Hilarious.
the girl's. Well, yeah, but it's like whatever the girl's name is. Like I don't know, Mary. I don't remember what the character's name. It was like Mary's annoying dad is like what her dad is credited as being. Like that's his character's name, is her annoying dad. I liked the maturity level and the way she spoke about her dad was really funny.
Yeah,
Where she's like, he bought this car because it's his high school dream car to make my wife jealous. It didn't work
it didn't work
because
yeah.
it's a car, stuff like that. And then also how they kept saying Protestant for prostitute.
Yeah.
He's like, he's out with the Protestant. What?
The title cards were great.
I don't know if I remember those.
Like anytime that he'd find a pocket knife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious. And great. And I'm not going to spoil any of those, but they're brilliantly done.
Yeah.
It was good, John. It was good.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. I think our next movie will be enjoyed for very different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we could watch it together somehow. And if I can figure out how, then we might
will.
have to do that on Wednesday.
We could totally do that on Wednesday.
Or Wednesday or Thursday, one of those 2 days during the day. 'cause
Wednesday,
I'll be off.
Wednesday immediately after our show. Totally
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah, we might have to do that. I'm going to do some more research, see if I can figure this out. Because I think there's a way to do it with Netflix. But I haven't.
There should be.
I think I found a site. I'll try to do some more research over the weekend. Because my wife is going to be gone this weekend. I think she's
My
gonna be gone.
wife.
There might be an issue and she might not be gone this weekend. But I think she'll be gone this weekend. So Saturday night, I plan on kicking back my computer and playing this game that I'm trying to play a lot more through on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe play some online with some friends Saturday night.
Zombievers.
Zombievers.
It's gonna be hilarious.
It is. All right, Dave. Let's go and get out of here so that you can start
You
getting.
can go to work. John, you want to go to work for me?
No, I want to go game hunting. So here's the thing, though. I'm gonna go when I'm going out. The things I'm looking for, anything video game related that's older, and I've got some systems that if I could run across for a good price, I kind of want to pick up. Although I think I decided that I might pick up a Retron 5 at some point now.
No.
Here's why. I have all my systems hooked up, and that's the way I will play them. But there's times when I can't be playing games in my game room because my kids are sleeping. My kids sleep with their doors open. Their doors lead right to the game room. So if I have a Retron 5, I can hook it up to another TV a lot easier because of the HDMI, and I can use the real controllers, and I can just play it that way. Also, if I want to stream something, it's easier to do that. Josh Stapleton, a friend of mine, not yours. Wow. said that he loves his. And also, if I get something like that, I can start trying to collect Genesis games as well without having to actually buy a Genesis.
Sure.
So,
be
anyways,
happy. Go to forgetbeingcool.com for all our links, our show notes, our Twitters, our followers, blah, 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 blah. You guys know this stuff already. You guys know how this works. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/dayspace, where it's for a little $1 a month, where you can be a Dayspace intern. You can make this show possible. I'm Dave Moore. That's Johnny Casino. This is Forget Being Cool. Bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, you have your own commentary. You've been narrated by Dayspace. Dayspace. Dayspace.
We did it live.